Okay, we're here at the fishing hut on the Dairy House home beat, and just going to talk to you very quickly about the etiquette of chalk stream fishing here in Dorset. I mean, the bottom line, you fish a chalk stream upstream, so you go to the bottom of the beat, and then you spend as much time as necessary just gradually working your way back up the beat, looking for rising fish, looking for likely looking spots, pools under banks, overhanging trees, passages between the weed, and you can fish that very intricately, just casting, working your way up, searching the water for fish. We're here in June, so we've got a hatch of mayfly at the moment, so you're picking off rising fish in between the weed bed. It's a stunning way to fish. We've got crystal clear water, so you're sight fishing, you're working your way upstream. It's one of the sort of rules that actually makes sense, that you fish upstream, so you're approaching your quarry from behind. Less chance of spooking them. Cover the fish with the fly so the fly line lands below the fish, fly a foot or so above it, comes down, fish comes up, lift, wild fish on, lovely. This time of the year, through really the trout season, from April through till October, we use ideally a 7 or 8 foot weight, 3 weight or 4 weight fly rod, weight forward line, tapered leader down to 3 or 4 pound sort of fluorocarbon tippet with a various mixture of patterns of flies. We've got a mixture of dry flies to cover us for the season. We start off early in the year with little sedge patterns, then on to olive patterns sort of May time, obviously the mayfly, then through the late summer, autumn, daddy longlegs, other sedges, large dark olives. And when things are really tough, we have a few nymphs that we can resort to fish under the surface for the trout that perhaps aren't rising. So that's the summer covered. In the winter, really from end of September, October, we start the grayling fishing. And for the grayling fishing, again, we're sight fishing. We're using longer rods, 10 foot 3 weights, short leaders or long leaders, teams of nymphs, or single nymphs, heavy sort of grayling bugs, check nymphs. And again, you're sight fishing, you're getting close to the fish and you're fishing across and actually down to some of the grayling. Sight fishing, great fun on a winter's day. And then the fishing hut, you can have a barbecue or a light a fire if it's cold. Okay, so we've covered the basics of chalk stream fishing. I think I'm going to get some waders on, we'll get in the river and we'll take a look at some of the beat, some of the techniques, and see if we're really lucky and find a nice wild trout for you. Okay, so you've all seen where to park your car with the magnificent views over the water meadows to the home beat on the River Frome. This path here, our fisherman's path, takes you away from the house, through the woods, down to about halfway down the beat, which you'll see in a minute. If you're really quiet when you walk down this fisherman's path, particularly early in the morning, or if you're coming back late at night, you will see deer, so just don't be startled when they jump out in front of you. Just remember, when you're walking down the fisherman's path, just keep this tiny little stream on your left. Okay, the path just swings round here through this blackthorn and hawthorn to the river. So we'll go and have a look, and we'll look downstream to start off with, and you'll see a stunning bit of the River Frome. Now, when we're walking to the bottom of the beat, we just making mental notes of places where you think fish might lie, or places where you can see fish lying or fish rising, and you drop down to the bottom of the beat, turn around and gradually fish your way back up. We have two very simple rules on this beat. Obviously it's fly fishing only, but we allow upstream dry fly and nymph, but your flies must be barbless, and we also insist that every fish caught is returned to the river alive. We're here at Sheep Bridge, which is practically halfway down halfway down the lower beat, we've got a lovely pool just below here. We've got a long glide upstream. Hopefully we'll see some rising fish, but that sun is, it's hot and it's beating down on us. It's very bright. Fishing, you know, now's the best time to be sat by the fishing hut in the shade, glass of wine, bite to eat. But we'll continue our quest in search of a wild fish. As you can see, there's bridge pools, hatch pools, deep glides. Just going to sit here for a minute or two and watch. Our little CDC emerger pattern is ready to find some more fish. Fish scooting about there. They're definitely on the fin. There's a few more about. There's 2 or 3 little fish over there. Again, I'll sneak down there, try and come across. Oh, it moved 2 or 3 feet to take a fly then. And it was a nymph that he took, and I've just put a dry fly on. Now, I don't think he's feeding. Yes, long leader. Tiny, tiny little gold-ribbed hare's ear nymph, simulating a little olive pattern. Under the weed. Beautiful, beautiful little buttery, little wild, little tiny little brown trout. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Fin perfect. As I said, we return every fish, all barbless hooks. There we go. Off you go, little fella. We're just walking upstream of the fishing hut. We left the guys to, they got a barbecue going and they're going to cook some lunch now. So it's a good opportunity for us to walk upstream, see if we can find a rising fish upstream of the fishing hut. And the path divides here, just keeps you in away from the river this side, and then the path takes us down alongside the river. There's a lovely pool down here. Could be some big fish in there, might be some grayling. And I know some of anglers a couple of weeks ago actually saw a salmon sat in there, so we'll go and have a look. We kind of keep it smart. It's sort of wild fishing. I'd always say one bank for the wildlife and the other bank for the anglers. So we've got a little bit of a mown path. We've got a trout sat right in front of us. So I'm gonna just, without making too much of a fuss, see if I can just cover him with a fly. A nice riffly bit. You see the water's running crystal clear. Got a nasty back cast. Oh, and we've spooked him. There he goes. 100 miles an hour upstream. So stealth is your weapon here. We've looked at the River Frome here in Dorset, our chalk stream beat. We started at the bottom, we walked our way up looking at various pools, lies. It's a lovely venue as you've seen, and we'd love to share it with you, so please come and have a fish with us for the summer or for the grayling in the winter.